Hello everyone! Today we have a video review of a portable gaming console from Trimui, namely a model called Brick. The whole thing comes in a box like this, where the device itself is depicted on the front side, and some of its characteristics are indicated. On the back of the box there is also brief information about the Brick gaming console. Well, let's move on to unpacking. We open the box. Here we are immediately greeted by a 256GB SD card in my case, but you can buy one with a smaller number of gigabytes if you do not need that amount. Next we see the gaming console itself in the package, but for now we will put it aside and see what else is included in the kit. And then we have instructions, a USB-A, USB-C charging cable, and also in two bags we have additional switches that you can replace on the console. Let's now take our Brick gaming console out of the bag and talk about it in more detail. When it comes to specs, you're getting something familiar as an amalgamation of other handhelds. CPU, All-Winner, A133+. GPU, PowerVR GE8300. RAM, 1GB. Screen, 3.2, 1024 x 768, 4.3 aspect ratio. Battery, 3000 mAh. Connectivity, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, microSD, 3.5mm headphone jack, 2x USB-C. Dimensions, 110 x 73, 12 to 20 meter, 157 grams. When folks talk about the pocketability of a device, the Brick is usually the kind of form factor that jumps into my mind first. A simple, compact design made to be played on the go. The Brick's predecessors certainly had that portion down, but Trimui seems like they're aiming a little higher with this release. The Brick's body is a standard ABS plastic, but manages to find a solid feel in the hands. In fact, solid is the first word that comes to mind when I pick up the aptly named Brick. It feels more robust than just the sum of its interconnected pieces. The plastic itself does an admirable job of avoiding oil buildups and fingerprints from use. The first thing I like about the Brick is its build quality. Despite being fairly small and lightweight, this thing also feels pretty solid. Strangely enough, it has a metal plate behind the screen, but everything is solid just like that. There's a minimal rattle, the buttons feel solid, and everything is well built. Which is great when seeing the next thing I like about it, the screen. The Brick screen comes in at 3.2 inches, which is 3 inches smaller than the screen on the Miu, but this smaller size packs in a much higher pixel density than its predecessor. At a resolution of 1024 x 768, the Brick offers a 405 ppi pixel density. The screen was vibrant and sharp and perfect for small form factor entertainment on the go. The Brick takes what I loved about that experience and elevates it to the next level. The general experience once up and running is nice as well. Everything feels cohesive, and it makes me excited for CrossMix OS next. I do know there are builds for MIUI as well, and if that's the path you want to take, this may be the perfect small vertical for that as well. The Brick is all about simplicity being executed at a high level, and the controls on the Brick are no exception. If you are looking for something with hall sticks and analog triggers, you're obviously going to be barking up the wrong tree, but if you need a Game Boy clone, this should provide the perfect experience for the games that came before the era of analog. The D-pad on the Brick, like the screen, comes in a hair smaller than that on the Miu Mini Plus, but at no detriment to the gaming feel. There is an 8-way axis, with each input firmly feeling in its own place. I never had issues with false inputs while gaming, and the pad is precise enough to handle fireballs and even the most precise of platformers. When people mention the clickiness of button inputs, this is pretty much what I imagine them describing. The face buttons have very little travel when pressed and provide a satisfying micro-click of input acknowledgement. The low profile adds to the clean overall aesthetic of the handheld, without making any real sacrifices in playability. The shoulder buttons may prove a little more challenging for those with specific likes. I found the stock units that came installed with the device to be more than sufficient for my needs. If you're looking for something slightly different though, Trimui has made an effort to appease. My Brick came with 3 different sets of shoulder buttons. The device came pre-installed with a more rectangular design, along with a rounded pair, and set with textured lines running through them for grip. For the eras being emulated, and the size of the handheld, I think they've done the best job they could at answering community wants and still keeping things compact in design. The Brick is rocking the same internals as the horizontal Trimui Smart Pro, so we know what to expect when it comes to capabilities. The handheld has the power to play up to PS1 without issue, and can handle portions of the N64 and PSP library as a nice little added bonus. This wouldn't be my first choice to emulate either of those systems, but it is nice to be able to tinker around for fun. With the smaller form factor of the Brick versus the Pro, so too comes a smaller battery. The Brick is sporting a 3000 mAh battery to the Pro's 5000. I lack the dedication and setup for true battery testing, but from the 3 charges I've had on the device so far, I'd say the 5 hours of advertised life is right in the pocket. Testing the Brick had me constantly jumping between different experiences, playing with different things as I plodded along. This is to say that the device was being used for about 30-90-minute stretches at a time over the course of a day. The standby feature seems to work great out of the box, and battery drain while sleeping proved to be minimal. The Trimui stock OS is entirely functional, but flawed when compared to the CFW options that are already available for the Smart Pro. Given the enthusiasm surrounding the Brick's release, and the fact that the PCB is already tried and true, we should hopefully see CFW options continue to be ported over. Early reports suggest that while options like crossmix will work out of the gate, there are still some minor glitches and annoyances to be ironed out. I've had the Trimui Brick for about a week now, and I feel comfortable saying that I've received the full package on offer. To put it quite simply, if you've been comfortable with a device of this style and size in the past, like the MM Plus, then the Brick should not prove any different. I am a larger guy with big hands, and for the games that I want to play on a device like the Brick, it's great. I tend to just rest my index fingers across the shoulders, and I'm quite comfy for a decent length session. When the screen and tight controls combine, they really make the Brick feel like a special and premium device. The only thing slightly holding the Brick back is the stock firmware it ships with. Once the community gets its hands on it, users will be able to tailor the experience down to every detail. And that's all from me. You can buy it using the link in the description. Thank you all for watching. Good luck to everyone. Bye everyone. Ciao.